how did you get so passionate about pro-death?
Well, there are a few reasons. I'll start with a little funny story. My son is 5 years old. And he's at that phase in life where he's very focused on careers. Oh, there's a fireman, there's a policeman, doctors, lawyers. And my mother was redoing her will. And so she said, oh, you know, Benedict, I'm going to go see a lawyer. And he was like, well, Nana, I need to go. I need to go with you. And he was there, and all the lawyers in this practice, or almost all of them, were all women. And walking out with my mother, he turned and he said, Nana, lawyers are women. And it was this funny little moment, and my mom goes, well, no, like men can be lawyers too. Women and men, they can do the same jobs. And it was kind of a funny story we told. And then I stopped for a second and thought about what that meant, that my son looked at these women who were lawyers and said, women are lawyers. And for me, it's deeply related to why I support proportional representation. I want my son and all his friends to be able to point to positions of power and say, there's someone like me there. I can aspire to that job. I can aspire to go to school and get a great education and serve my community. And for me, proportional representation, we see better representation of women, we see better representation of visible minorities and invisible minorities. I'm a student with a learning disability. This is kind of the other reason why pro-rep is so important for me. I went to school during a time when there wasn't a lot of support for students with disabilities. And as a result, I dropped out of high school. I went back to school as an adult, and I'm now getting my undergrad degree. But when I was thinking about it, there wasn't a politician in power that my parents could go to and advocate for what I needed. They couldn't advocate for students like me. Even when I was able to vote, I've been in the situation where I had an elected official that I didn't support and who wouldn't support what I needed them to advocate for. And then I've had the opposite situation where I've had someone I really liked, but they're not in power. And so I can talk to them and they can agree with me, but there's very little they can do. And so for me, it's a real lived experience that there is so much value in having someone who can get something done, even if that's through compromise and parties working collaboratively. Having that person who can be your advocate is so immensely valuable. And under proportional representation, every person will have that advocate for what they need.
No wonder you're majoring in poli sci.